decided to hit back forcefully against Iran for its missile and drone attack on Saturday night. Razi said, and I quote, "We categorically declare that the smallest action against Iranian interests will certainly be met with a severe, widespread and painful response against any perpetrator." Benjamin Netanyahu summoned his war cabinet for the second time in less than 24 hours. Israel's military chief said that his country will respond to Iran's weekend attack, but he did not elaborate on when or how. Israel has reassured Arab countries in the region that its response to Iran's attack will not place them in danger.
We are closely assessing the situation. We remain at our highest level of readiness. Iran will face the consequences for its actions. We will choose our response accordingly. The IDF remains ready to counter any threat from Iran and its terror proxies as we continue our mission to defend the State of Israel.
The Israeli military released more footage claiming to show the damage which one of its air bases suffered in Iran's largely thwarted weekend aerial attack. Israeli officials have said that the repairs at the base are ongoing and that the site remains operational throughout. Israel remained on high alert, but authorities lifted some emergency measures that had included a ban on some school activities and limits on large gatherings. The White House has also said that Iran did not provide warnings to the United States last week about its time frame for launching an attack on Israel or its potential targets.
I've seen reporting that the Iranians meant to fail, that this spectacular and embarrassing failure was all by design. I've also seen Iran say that they provided early warning to help Israel prepare its defenses and limit any potential damage. All of this is categorically false. To coin the phrase from the president, or still a phrase from the president, it's malarkey.
Earlier, Turkish, Jordanian and Iraqi officials said that Iran did give wide notice days before its drone and missile attack on Israel. And now the head of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has warned that Iran would respond to future Israeli attacks on Iran-linked targets. Meanwhile, the United Nations nuclear watchdog chief said that Iran has closed nuclear facilities in the wake of Israel's attack. Earlier, he said that he's concerned about possible Israeli targeting of Iranian nuclear facilities.
Concerned that some of the targets might be nuclear facilities in Iran, especially that IAEA inspectors are on the ground. If you still and if you can confirm that, actually.
Well, of course, we are always concerned about this possibility. What I can tell you is that our inspectors in Iran were informed by the Iranian government that on the yesterday all the nuclear facilities that we are inspecting every day would remain closed on security considerations. They would be reopened today for the continued inspections.
The IAEA regularly inspects Iran's main nuclear facilities, like its enrichment plants and Natanz, that are at the heart of the country's nuclear program. Well, for more on this, we're being joined by our correspondent Jody Cohen from Ranana. And Jody, a delicate situation at the moment. What do you expect Israel's next move might be when it comes to Iran? And do you think Israel will respond to the attack that happened on Saturday?
So according to a Channel 12 report in Israel, which was unsourced, the War Cabinet have decided to strike back clearly and forcefully. That's after Iran fired more than 320 drones, ballistic and cruise missiles towards Israel at the weekend. Now, Israel's unlikely not to respond. 99% of the projectiles were intercepted, but Israel feels that a good defense is not the same as deterrence, and that the Iranian government needs to feel some sort of price for what it did, or that Iran could threaten Israel again. But the allies who helped defend Israel intercepting the projectiles, they've urged restraint. The concern is for a wider regional war. The Channel 12 report said that Israel does not want its response to spark a regional war or break up the coalition that helped to intercept the drones and missiles. But Israeli government spokesperson David Mencer gave a statement in which he asked what would the reaction be in Washington or London if just one cruise missile had been fired at bases there, suggesting that they would respond.
And of course, Israel's allies advising it to show restraint. Is Israel likely to retaliate against Iran on its own?
So it could be likely that Israel would carry out a response independently, but Israel has reportedly told allied Arab countries such as Jordan, Egypt and the Gulf states that Israel's response won't endanger them. That's after Iran warned of a bigger attack if Israel responds. Prime Minister Netanyahu reportedly has asked the Israel Defense Forces to provide a target list for a strike which would send a message but not cause casualties. So that could potentially be a strike on an Iranian facility or a cyber attack. The US reportedly believes that Israel is unlikely to strike Iran directly, but could target an Iranian proxy such as Iran's militias in Syria or Hezbollah in Lebanon. And Israel's likely to provide updates to the US on that. But remember, Prime Minister Netanyahu has been trying for a long time now to build a defence coalition to defend against Iran. At the weekend, we saw the first example of this really in practice. So it will be important for him to respond to Iran's attack without wasting that opportunity to build an international alliance against Iran.